Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back here to the channel, and really appreciate you guys tuning in for today's episode. Always happy to have everybody around. And guys, today we're going to have a little bit of a different video. We're going to have sort of a buyer's guide on spinning reels. And I'm going to talk about spinning reels, the features of spinning reels, what you need to have on one. And I've got 4 different spinning reels I've been testing out here. And I've actually been testing spinning reels out quite a bit, different models and different companies' spinning reels over the past year. And I pretty much landed on 3 or 4 that I really like here. And I want to sort of go over why that is. And if you guys are looking for a spinning reel, this will be some good information as far as what is important or what's not important. And I think it's going to be some really good information. And also, guys, I'll link every one of these spinning reels in my Tackle Warehouse link in the description of this video. They still have that big 12 days of Christmas sale on. It's a great time to buy a reel if you're looking for one. So if you use that link that I put in the description here, that's a good way to get you some good deals and support the channel, as well as the channel gets a small percentage of anything that you buy on the Tackle Warehouse link. So I appreciate that. Okay, guys, spinning gears. This spinning tackle has sort of like it's really accelerated in terms of how many people use a spinning outfit versus what it had been in the past in bass fishing. And with the advent, especially of like forward-facing sonar and some of the finesse techniques, spinning tackle is, I think it's probably taken over as far as how many people use it versus bait casters. And in my own fishing, you know, I do not use forward-facing sonar, but I still use a spinning outfit for probably 50% of my fishing. And the techniques that I use personally for a spinning outfit is, number one, I fish all my jerk baits on a spinning outfit. I fish small crankbaits on them. I fish floating worms and like flukes and that type of stuff, small swim baits, Ned rigs, shaky heads, little finesse jigs, wacky rigs. I got probably, I don't know, a dozen different techniques that are sort of my core for fishing on a spinning outfit. And so I'm very familiar with what to look for. So what I want to do, guys, is I want to show you the reels that I've been testing out here and why I like them, especially when you talk about the performance that you get out of a reel versus the cost of a reel. And that's a big consideration for everybody. So first of all, one of the things I'll tell you guys is, out of all the companies, and I have companies send me stuff to try out, you know, here on the channel occasionally, but out of all the ones that I've used in terms of, and like I said, I'm not sponsored by any of these companies at all. I don't have any type of a contract with any of them. So it gives me a good chance to give you guys a neutral point of view on it. But about all the reels that I've tested, when you talk about terms of quality and performance in relationship to price, I just think that the Lews spinning reels are probably the best. A lot of people like Shimano and Daiwa and all that type of stuff, and they're all good reels. But in terms of what you get for the money, I have not found a reel better than the Lews that I like. And there's 3 that I really tested out more than anything else. First one was this Lews custom light spinning outfit, spinning reel here. Really like this. All the ones I'm talking about, they have the 11 ball bearing system. And when you're wanting to purchase a spinning reel, guys, this is a very, very important component to it. It's like when you buy a spinning reel and you have a reel that has like 11 ball bearings in it, when you turn that handle like that, there's a noticeable difference between a reel that has 7 or 8 or 9 ball bearings. You can feel it. And the reason that you want a reel that has 11 ball bearings or at least 10 ball bearings in it is when you're, say for example, you're working that shaky head or that Ned rig and you're working it slow like this, the feel that you get from the smoothness of 11 ball bearings, it's hard to explain, but it's more sensitive. You can feel things better, and it's like it's easier to work a bait. And it's the same like if I'm fishing a jerk bait. You know, when you're jerking it like that, when you reel that reel handle, that buttery smoothness that you get out of 11 ball bearings completely feels different than a lesser ball bearing reel. So first of all, this is one of the reasons I like these 3 reels that I'm talking about, is they all have 11 ball bearings. So this is the Lews Custom Light. I really like this reel here. It's been a really good reel. The other one I've been testing out is this Lews Custom Pro right here. Now this is a high quality reel, this Custom Pro, guys. I love this reel. The only thing that in my own personal fishing that I don't use about is a drawback to me, which would not be a drawback to some people, is it doesn't have an anti-reverse on it. And all the other ones that I'm talking about with Lews have the anti-reverse here, because I back reel in my fishing. It's like when I'm fighting a fish, I'm always, I click that anti-reverse off and I back reel like that to fight the fish. But a lot of people don't like to do that. They're not comfortable with it. They want to use the drag. So, the Custom Pro here does not have that, so you don't have that option. But again, you have the 11 ball bearings, and especially one other thing here, guys, and I'm going to show you the one that I picked. My favorite reel is going to be the third one I'm getting ready to talk about here. But another aspect about all three that I'm talking about, and this is important, is when you buy a reel, get a 3000 series, because a lot of spinning reels have what's called a 2500 series spool, and the spool diameter is smaller. And the advantage of a 3000 series spool is that extra width on the spool like that allows you to make a longer cast. You can hold more line in it, and when you cast that like that, the larger diameter spool allows that line to come off easier. So you can cast probably 15-20% further, especially with like 8-pound test fluorocarbon line with a 3000 series spool versus a 2500. So in my fishing, I want the 3000 series spool all the time with that. So that's another thing about the Custom Pro. But these are two really good reels, guys, the Custom Light and the Custom Pro there. Okay, but the one that I decided on out of testing all of them more than anything else is this Lews hypermag right here. And again, guys, I'm gonna link each one of these reels in the video if you guys would like to pick one up. But this Lews hypermag, guys, it's my favorite one for sure. If you're gonna get one, I would highly suggest getting these. The good thing about the Lews reels here is when you look at the price point of them versus what you're getting, it's a good value. You can pay an arm and a leg for some spinning outfits, but this thing, very, very fair priced, and it's the quality second to none on that. So a couple different things I like about it. First of all, got the 3000 series spool. It's got the 11 ball bearings. It's got the anti-reverse on it. It's got a really, really good drag system, which most of the time I don't use a drag. I keep it pretty tight for my fishing, but sometimes if I'm using really, really light line, I will loosen a drag up to set the hook on it. Say I'm using 4-pound test or something like that. So it's got a really, really smooth drag on there. And it's just well balanced. I mean, there's just something about the reel that's well balanced. It's got a nice beefy size handle on it. The handle length on it's really nice. And it just really feels good in my hand. I mean, it just feels sensitive and it's just smooth. So this Lews hypermag has been my favorite ones with that. So those are the three I would suggest, guys. Like I said, I'll link them in there. If you're looking for a spinning outfit, highly suggest these three right here. Like I said, I have spent a lot of time over the past years trying out different brands that companies have sent me. And these are the three that I'm going to be using. I'm going to be using, the Custom Light, the hypermag, probably the hypermag most all the time. Probably won't use the Custom Pro, simply because I do like to back reel, but this would be a really good reel, guys. If you do like to use a drag, I'd highly suggest this Lews Custom Pro, because then that way you don't have to mess with the anti-reverse. Just matter of personal preference. But one other tip I'm going to give you guys here, I'm going to leave you with before we get done with the video, is a lot of you all have heard me talk about that I do not use braid to fluorocarbon on a spinning outfit. And a lot of people get pissed off when I talk about that because they're very adamant that they like braid to fluorocarbon. Guys, I spent several years testing both of these exclusively. It's like I spent several years using nothing but braid to fluorocarbon, perfecting the knots, getting the knots down good, testing different type of leader lengths and that type of stuff. And then I also did the same using straight fluorocarbon. It has been my experience, my own personal experience, when you list all the advantages of using straight fluorocarbon on a reel, on a spinning reel, versus braid to fluorocarbon, the straight fluorocarbon is going to outweigh. You're going to have more advantages by using straight fluorocarbon than you will by braid to fluorocarbon. And I've done videos on that before. You can refer to some of my past videos. But a lot of people, what they've done is they sort of have this herd mentality a little bit, and they see pros using braided fluorocarbon, hear people talking about using braided fluorocarbon, and they think they got to do it, but it's not getting you any more bites whatsoever. It's probably costing you fish more than anything else. And I always make the statement, it's like, Randy, you're full of crap. You don't know what you're talking about. You see the Elite Series pros catching 20-pound bags with braided fluorocarbon. So what? If they use straight fluorocarbon, they might catch 23 pounds instead of braided fluorocarbon. So that's my own personal opinion. So I would highly suggest getting comfortable using straight fluorocarbon on all these 3D spinning reels. You're not going to have a problem if you spool the line on the same way it comes off your spool. That's one of the big things. Do not fill your spool completely full of line. Leave about a 1/16 of an inch gap. And when you're putting your line on a spinning reel with straight fluorocarbon, put it on with a lot of tension and wet it. A lot of times I'll wet a rag, and I'll put it on with that wet rag, and you won't have any problems with fluffs or bird's nests. And that way you don't have 2 knots to jack around to tie with. You don't have to worry about breaking off a leader and having to tie 2 knots or a weak link somewhere. It's just a better system to go with. So anyway, guys, hope that helps you out. Again, if you guys are wanting to get some of these reels, I'll have my Tackle Warehouse link in the description to each one of them. Thank you very much for supporting the channel, guys, and we appreciate it, and we'll talk later.